Hey guys, this is Raymond and this is another video, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to review this single stick trainer from Ariel Ramos and with the nice people from Cavite who do the single stick training. Um, you can go online and you can find these people. You could PM me to how to get in touch with them directly if you want to have one of these trainers. And yeah, so I'm just gonna review my first impressions with these. So guys, take my review with a grain of salt because it's pandemic time and I haven't really used this to train with anyone. So right now all I can do is compare this to the single stick trainers that I've trained with, that I've used, and I'm just going to compare it from there, right? Number one is, let's get started with the Ratan that they use. So this is Ratan. Um, yeah, let's go with the overview first before we go deep into the parts, right? Not that there's a lot of parts to this. So the first part is the Ratan. It goes all the way down to the handle. So it's one single piece, right? This guard is some kind of plastic. I'm willing to bet this is HDPE, probably thermoformed, of course, but it was probably originally like one of those blue water barrels that we all see. I think this is made out of that. Let me see. Like, let's. No, oh, I don't know. The paint isn't coming off, which is nice. Anyway, so going back to this HDPE, probably HDPE pickle blue barrel plastic, really durable, really hard. Like you can pound this with your fist, and yeah, it will stay stable. It is stuck to the rattan through a screw. I think, yeah, this is a wood screw at the bottom, and it's screwed in here. So this whole piece is secured on this end, right? So there we go. And then the handle. So this one I already wrapped with a badminton handle, with a badminton grip. Okay. I personally love badminton grips for my training equipment. But originally this had a garden hose, I think. A garden hose, a rubber hose um, handle that was painted over. Um, and that's it. So very simple construction, very basic, but it's really well done. So let's go to the rattan. Now the rattan that they used is really, really nice. It's really high density rattan. So even though this is about the thickness of my thumb, right, it has good weight to it. All right, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel flimsy at all. Um, it has some flex to it, but as you can see, this actually takes a lot of effort for me to flex. Um, so all in all, really good rattan. It still has the skin. One of the things that they did though is they smoothed it down. So in the nodes, they kind of removed some of the part in the nodes to make it even smoother. I'm not sure if that's a good idea because with our experience with rattan sticks, if you like if you break the integrity of the rattan skin, it might make it weaker. Like it will just explode and fray. So again, that one I can't speak to for this because I haven't used this in training. Oh, a cute little, cute, a good little detail that they have is, okay, the tip is rounded, right? I kind of like that detail. It makes accident, like, it makes strikes like this less painful, I think, and then therefore less effective because it doesn't really work. So it really forces you to thrust properly with one of these things, right? If you keep this flat, it would probably catch even if you're not stabbing at the right angle. But this one will just make you slip. So that's a nice thing. I never really considered that until I saw this, so that's good. And again, I kind of gave you guys the idea already of this plastic HDPE. Again, that's just my guess. Not sure if it's real. HDPE. Oh, I have a. Why did I? Okay. So it's not blue water barrel. Huh, it's something else. It's actually gray in there. Okay, so my guess was wrong. But I think it's still a high density plastic, so it it will protect your hand from most strikes, even direct strikes. Like this thing is rigid as all heck. Now the handle is long. Okay, I don't know if this is intentional. So I don't know enough about single stick to know whether or not this is right. I have a. Okay, hold on. Oh, I can't pull it out. I have an Olympic saber. Um, I have an Olympic saber, and it's a little tighter than this, I think, right? And from what I heard from some people, a lot of sabers should be flush against your hand. But again, I'm not that knowledgeable about single stick and about the history behind it. So I'm not sure if this is the. I mean, for me, this is a nice handle. Like, this is really comfortable. But I'm not sure if it should be like this instead of like this, right? If that makes sense to you guys. Like, so I think it should be, it could be better if it's flush against your hand instead of like this, right? But again, I'm not 100% sure. But that's a little detail. Like, again, with Filipino swords, typically in my experience, the traditional ones, so the antiques, would be closer fitted to your hand. Like a lot of antiques I can't even use because my hands are just too chunky for them, right? But again, so I'm not 100% sure about that. The last thing I would say is the hose that they use inside did not react properly with the paint, right? So I'm guessing this is an acrylic paint. That's just my guess. I'm not sure. But whatever happened was the paint that they used reacted with the rubber of the rubber hose, and it never dried properly, right? It actually stayed tacky and sticky, and I thought it would just disappear after a few days because sometimes that does happen with some of these paints, like they don't dry properly on some surfaces. But on the rubber grip that they had, it stayed tacky for a long time. Now, normally I don't mind that. That might I thought at first maybe this is a feature, not a bug. But I started holding it one day and black coloring just went all over my hand. So I thought, okay, that's probably not a feature. So yeah, basically I just used badminton grip, and you should really use a badminton grip anyway. Makes it feel better in the hand. And there, tackiness solved. So what's my verdict for this thing? This thing is actually pretty good. This is an interesting development. Even if you're an arnis practitioner and you're just going to use this for arnis or whatever, this is really good. If you're an instructor, you know that beginner students will hit the heck out of your hands, right? And it's very hard to concentrate on avoiding and blocking properly while you're teaching someone to avoid and block properly. So yeah, this could be a good protection for you while you're teaching kids how to block and how to properly parry, right? And how to do things with a partner. Because that's happened to me a couple of times. Like I've had kids like really bash my fingers in by mistake without meaning to. Like their just sticks would just slide because they just had the wrong angles. So this would be very durable for that. Again, I haven't used it for single stick. I've tried to use like postures with it, and it feels really nice. It feels fast without being too whippy and flimsy. So yeah, I really encourage you guys to get these. I think the 500 pesos is not just the materials that they use to make this thing, right? I've produced stuff before, and a lot of the money that you charge is actually for research and development. Researching the right kind of plastic, to use for this kind of thing, oh, that's a pain in the butt, man. Because some plastics are hard, but they would shatter, and then you have to test which ones shatter. You have to research which ones shatter. Sometimes even the suppliers are weird. Like I know that polycarbonate is almost indestructible, but if you get a bad polycarbonate, like I got some from China and they snap like crazy, but then you get some polycarbonate from Germany and they're really, really tough. So then you have to figure that out, and that costs money, right? Every time you buy something to prototype, even something as simple as this, that will cost you money, right? And that's part of what you're paying for. These guys did the research, they did the training with these things, they did, they did all of that to produce this, and you know what? It's good. A pair of these is 1,000 pesos, so it comes out to 500 pesos each. This could easily go and retail like 600 pesos each. Yeah, it's kind of good value for money, actually. The only thing again I would say is that they should solve the paint issue with the grip so it doesn't get tacky, or they can keep it tacky and just put on the badminton grip as a bonus for their customers. Like badminton grips can go like the cheap ones, the cheap badminton grips, and I like the cheap badminton grips. Actually hate the expensive. So that's it. I recommend that you guys, if you're interested in doing in cross training into historical European martial arts, or if your traditional arnis has a strong Spanish influence and saber is part of it, it's a good trainer to have. Support the local artisans and craftsmen. Making something like this, developing something like this from scratch, is not a walk in the park. All right. So if you guys have any questions, again, if you want to get in touch with the maker, Ariel Ramos, send me an email or send me a message or something. Um, because he doesn't have a website or anything. He doesn't even have a Facebook page, I think. So he just posted something online on social media. I just commented and I just bought one of his. So there. And I have his cell phone number, but I'm not gonna post that. So if you need it, just contact me, guys. All right, so we're finished for today. So I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna cut it down because I've been rambling about it. Hope to see you guys soon.